got live on both Facebook and YouTube now. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It's me, San Martin of the Prescott Times with Eric. Uh, Eric has so many hats, man. Today, which one do you want me to give a shout out for, Eric?
We'll just stay with the Wilder House.
Wilder House
Yep.
and maybe entrepreneur dad of the year. We should give you the dad of the year um, reward, man.
I
Can
don't know.
you
I try.
I try my hardest, man. Well, it seems like you guys got a lot of cool things going on. But today it's Monday, not 5/18/2020. And yes, we've been doing this for now. I think Eric has the starting date, but I feel like it's been like we've been doing it forever. And it's like our show now. It's freaking amazing. So I'm actually wanting to know, are we finding out what we're going to name this, Eric? What is your choice, Eric, out of the things that we have?
You know, man, I don't know. We've had a lot of good suggestions. It's just a matter of picking one. But you're the man. You're the boss. You got to pull the trigger and figure out which one you like.
I'm thinking I really do love the morning show in the 863.
That is cool.
Yeah, now having that morning in the 863 is kind of cool because we are trying to cover all of the things that are happening here locally in the area, such as Yavapai County and abroad, because we do cover a lot of things that are happening around the neighborhoods and around the state of Arizona. So that's actually pretty cool. But we are going to find the name. I think this week is going to be the week where I actually commit to something.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's committing. So today's a weird day. So not only is it Monday, it is National No Dirty Dishes Day. So if you had a little too much fun this weekend and you haven't done it yet, it's time to get that kitchen cleaned up.
Yeah, no, I think I'll fall short on that sometimes, man. But I tell you what, when you have like I guess a morning, afternoon late-ish, like it actually gets pretty big and crazy out there. But at the same time, it's all about perspective. How are you going to wake up today? Are you going to be just as motivated as you are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Are you as motivated as Saturday or Sunday? So it's all about perspective. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Well, let's go ahead and get into some crazy news. Obviously, the weather is going to be a little bit different this coming week. The beginning of this is going to be at, what would you say, very, very windy.
I saw that. Very windy, right? Tomorrow, like they're putting out freeway warnings.
Yes, and so guys, just batten down the hatches, and I kind of like it when it's windy during the week, because I mean during this time, because what it does, it ends up blowing a lot of those little gnats and those little aphids away. Because I don't know if you guys ever been out in a Prescott and during the daytime, you actually get out there and all of a sudden it starts biting your skin. You're just like, what the heck's biting? And you look at yourself and it's this little aphid.
Know what they call them? I always call them like no-see-ums or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know the scientific terminology, man, but I think we call them aphids. And
I don't know about you. Have you seen a lot of mosquitoes? I mean, I've seen some big, nasty mosquitoes around lately.
yeah, you know what? It was kind of funny, but we did like an Arizona type of bug, and there is one that is out there that looks really, really crazy, and you'll see it flying around. But that guy is actually a good guy. He actually eats the mosquitoes. So don't kill the large one like that big that looks like it has dangly legs and it has that guy kills mosquitoes. So you want that guy to stay around.
Okay, good thing. Didn't know that.
I got a fun fact from Martine. I hate mosquitoes. Like I don't even know why they're here. I think that they were actually here shipped on a ship from a foreign planet, and they're here to kill us. They're here to kill us.
Well, no, San Martin, Zika was 2 years ago. We moved on.
Yeah. Just so here's another fun fact. The number one mammal to kill the most humans is
no, it's something crazy. It's like a hippo. It's a hippo, right?
It's a mosquito, mammal.
Is it really? Okay.
It's a mammal, right, guys? I mean, am I
Is it? I thought a mosquito was an insect.
Insect, mammal.
I think the mammal is the one that kills the most humans is a hippo.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, hey guys, I'm gonna have to learn a little bit of stuff about our world. But yeah, no, but mosquitoes are actually one of the biggest killers as an insect, I guess.
Yeah, it is a huge human killer. That's why I think everybody loves Prescott, right? We don't have a lot of mosquitoes. Like you look at those shows like Naked and Afraid, and they're in the jungle and they're in the forest, and they get eaten alive. I mean, I don't think we have it like that. I mean, that's one of the best things about it being dry here.
Yeah, they're getting eaten alive out there. I remember watching what we actually, kind of squirreling right now, but we actually have somebody in Prescott that was on Naked and Afraid, and she works for the meadery. She's one of their general managers or something like that. She actually did 2 seasons of Naked and Afraid.
Oh, she needs to be on the show then.
Yeah, we could possibly get her on, but there was also another person that was on out in the wilderness, and it was Cody.
Yeah, Cody lives here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Cody lives in town, and he does the outdoor adventures. And that, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the one that actually goes out there and sits on, walks around in the city without no shoes. He has a big old long, what do you call it, braids going on.
Mm. Always wears shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, always wearing shorts, man. But yeah, that guy was also on Discovery TV, where it was Dual Survivor. Dual
Yes.
Survivor. So that was kind of cool to see that type of interaction, especially here locally in Prescott. But anyways, we squirreled so much off of the.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. I love hearing about that kind of stuff. So on to the local news. What do you got today?
Well, we obviously are covering COVID like always, but what's kind of crazy is that we didn't get our weekend update. So I'm going to wait for this morning's update, but I'll go ahead and give you exactly what they told me or sent to me on Saturday or Friday. I think was the last day that they sent me. So I don't know. Maybe it's not getting too important for those Yavapai County Health Department. So let me go ahead and pull that up. But until we do get that up and running, we are obviously on Monday, and there's a few things that was going to happen this week. We're expecting to go ahead and get the mayors on so we can go interview them. But it's been really busy with the shops and everything opening up. I actually went out this weekend, and it was like expected like this. Like, okay, I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna literally go out there and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like I usually have like a little run because downtown you could actually bar hop or just hop around and go see people. And ideally, I stopped over at the Park Plaza Deli, and as soon as I walked into Park Plaza Deli, it wasn't the same. It was just like it killed it right there. Like I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go step in any places because it just wasn't the same. And
So what do you mean it wasn't the same? Just not of people, the atmosphere? Did they make changes?
the atmosphere, the changes in general, the bar wasn't open. People wouldn't be able to walk around. You couldn't go sit on the patio to go do because they have a cigar patio over there.
Right. Yeah. No, I was across the street yesterday, and I could have swore the party there was people on the patio.
Yeah, no, there is people on the patio, but once again, you got to order food in order for you to drink. So it's not like a place where you could go and sit at the bar and serve like you were back in the days, based off of the CDC requirements
Right.
of separation.
So
Physically,
a lot of the bars still aren't open downtown, right?
a lot of the bars aren't open, Eric. They're some of them are working underneath the rules of being able to open up if they're selling food. So
And you have to buy food, right?
uh, I don't know those rules, man. I actually walked into, the story started going. Went, to what you call it, Park Plaza Deli. That ended up walking by Rosa's, which was completely busy. But obviously the tables were separated.
And,
Um,
and, and hey, on this, so you walk by Lemoncello there. I don't know. This is a rumor. I haven't heard it if it's true or not. I heard they're selling the Lemoncello now by the bottle. You can
Yeah, they started that in the beginning. They're like, we're
yeah,
bottling this up. And that's because the rules changed with the governor Ducey orders, is that bars or restaurants were allowed to go ahead and package things without having to run it through a packaging factory. So
right.
they were able to go ahead and package on site and sell on
And
site.
that's still in place. And so when we were on that press conference, he had no intention of removing that. So if you know of a drink or something like that that you want to take out, you should be able to go to any of these places and they should be able to sell it to you by the bottle.
Yeah, you should be able to. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Papa John's is watching over on Instagram. Hey, Papa John's. Okay, so finally the Yavapai County thing pulled up right now. So And 194,504 Arizonans have been tested for by COVID-19, with 13,631 positive cases and 679 deaths. Now, here's the math, guys. We want to know, whoever is out there with the calculator, we want to know how many people have recovered from this COVID-19 with the 13,000 positive cases out there.
Well, remember, San Martin, she told us how that works is after 2 weeks, they call you and make sure you're feeling okay. And then they do another follow up in 3 weeks and then they move you to that column. So there's a lot of people that haven't received that phone call yet. There's a lot of people that are fine that are still sitting in that active case column that haven't been closed out.
Yeah, so if you guys got positive cases in Yavapai, call them up, man. Get your name off of this list, because as of right now, there's 260 positive cases in Yavapai County. Yavapai Regional Medical Center reports 3 hospitalizations with COVID-19, with 2 persons under investigations on the West Campus. Verde Valley Medical Center reports no hospitalizations with COVID, and 5 persons under investigation as of yesterday afternoon. The VA was reported no hospitalizations or PUIs for COVID 19. But this weekend was the last weekend for the blitz testing. So that is going to be putting the numbers up there here shortly. We could go ahead and see. And like I said, ideally, they post something every day. They give us the numbers because they're getting reported every day. And now we're just waiting for those reports to come up. And I guess we're also watching what's happening over at Mingus Mountain. And I feel like everybody at Mingus Mountain is now a COVID-19 positive case, which it's kind of crazy to see any of that stuff happening. But, it's none of them are that sick to the point where they have or are have to go to the hospital. They're treating everybody there on the spot at the girls' home. So that's kind of cool. I mean, well, it's not cool that they're getting sick, but it's kind of cool that they're able to go ahead and have that there at that spot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, we were full this weekend, right? I mean, I saw all kinds of posts and people talking about the traffic and that everything backed up the 89. I mean, Prescott is now back to the, I guess, anti-hot since everybody's coming to escape the hot. It was slammed. I mean, traffic was like, summer normal, if not worse, because I think a lot of people had a lot of pent up, hey, I want to get out of the heat kind of thing. I've got a lot of friends from Phoenix that I've heard from that are like, we need to get away. We need to get up there. What do you got? More than normal for sure.
Yeah, and I can only imagine. I was watching something that was on Nas Daily. I don't know if you watch him. He does like these little 1 minute videos of his travel, and he brought up something that was like kind of crazy with his report, saying that this, I said, it was going to be 2 years down the road when everybody was going to go back to quote unquote normal, but he says I was totally wrong. He says it will never go back to normal ever, and here's some of the reasons why. And so he started going down all these things, but the biggest one was the people in the cities that were on top of each other, going to their skyrocket pieces of business. They realized that they could do all this work at home in the suburbs, and they don't have to be in the city paying an extra $900, $2,000, $3,000 rent, and they could just basically retreat back to their home and stay away from the city life. So he was saying that the cities will never be the same because of this. And I kind of agree, because this would be one of the biggest reasons why I never moved to a city, because of this specific reason. And I don't know if anybody knew this, but back in the days, I was like, I would never want to live in the city just in case a bio war went bad, because that would be the first place that would probably be the worst place to be in, because of so many people in the compacted area. I was like, I think Prescott's perfect for me. I don't care how small it is.
Well, it's funny. Well, that's the thing. People are going to be moving out to the suburbs and out to further areas. If they can work from wherever they want to work. I mean, we were on a call on Friday. San Francisco is going to be devastated. I mean, it's always had the most expensive housing in the world, and if nobody has to actually be there to do the job there, they're going to move somewhere else. And that somewhere else is probably going to be here and other places like here where the weather and the environment is super nice. And so, it's going to change things. There's been a trend for the last 15, 20 years, revitalize the cities and, dense, people moving in downtown, like downtown Phoenix. Wow, it is so different than it was 20 years ago. and there's so many people and so much innovation going there, but with no sports going on, and no work going on there, who they're gonna have trouble filling all those buildings, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you going to do with them? You're going to turn them into like a little bit of a what do you call it? A museum? I mean, like, what do you do with these? I mean, over the time, people have always built structures to show their authority or maybe even their riches in sense. And so now here we are. Those riches and sense really honestly don't correlate with people's health and their wants to go and work in those big skyscrapers. Don't get me wrong, I've been in a few of those. Those things are not anything like I want to sit in. It just doesn't feel good to sit in. Have you ever been in a high rise building, Eric?
Oh yeah, I did the Chicago Tower a few years ago, up in that glass where you're looking right over the side. They lean you out over it. That's yeah.
Okay, so do you know that those things sway about 2 feet in the air?
Yes. Oh yeah. Your
Okay,
ears pop if you're going up in the elevator because it's going up so fast at such a high altitude.
Okay, so I don't know. I was in the building, and just to kind of like give you guys a scope of these things, where you'll be in the actual building, and you could find one thing that looks square in the building, and just watch it, and all of a sudden you can see the thing just move. It's so scary, man. But at the same time, it shows people's wealth. I think that's exactly what I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah,
It's like
I think
people
there's a
get those.
shift going on, and wealth is quality of life. I think for a long time, I think people really moved to the cities and things like that for wealth and stuff like that. But if you can make pretty much the same amount of money by doing a lot of these jobs online and live somewhere where your quality of life is so much better, that's what's going to happen. And that's so we're going to see an influx of that kind of activity. I read this weekend that somebody in California drove 600 miles for a haircut. I mean, that's just insane.
That is insane, but I guess I mean they probably did it for a couple of reasons. One, to get out of town. Two, to go ahead and actually be out of your area that where you feel like constricted, or even what would you say, under quarantine. It just doesn't feel good. So Eric, I mean, let's go ahead and think about this. Now, in the state of Arizona, right when this all started, when you travel, you're supposed to show up, and you're only supposed to be able to go out there um, 14 days later, right? Or is that totally like gone?
No, so if you are
That
with an
14
infected person, you're supposed to self quarantine for 14 days. That's so if they trace you to somebody who's got it, you're supposed to have a 14-day stay at home window, regardless of everything else.
Well, Eric, I seen somebody. So this is what I seen online, and this is the only reason why I brought it up is because a man from New York traveled to Hawaii. Their laws say, or their restrictions say, that if you come to Hawaii, you're supposed to sit in your place for 14 days quarantine before you're
Yep,
able to go out to the public.
they arrested him.
Yeah, and they arrested him. So that's what I was thinking, is that I knew that Arizona had that. So if you flew into
It, coming from a restricted area, I think that's still in effect. You're supposed to self quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, and I thought that was for everywhere. So, there was people that were like posting from California saying that they're in Lake Havasu, getting away from the
Oh,
rats. And so I'm
there's a page like Prescott Times in Lake Havasu or Prescott, Arizona, and they are just raving about. They are complaining they can't even use their lake. The boat ramp was backed up 4 hours as of 7 a.m. in the morning. People over there are losing their minds. So
I
on
think
local news like that, did you see San Martin this morning? Cave Creek is under mandatory evacuation orders because of a wildfire, and so these winds are not going to help that. It's got to be a reminder to us that hey, this can happen here. I mean, Cave Creek mandatory evacuation. We don't want that up here, and so I keep getting a lot of requests of people like, "Can I have a grill? Can I have a fire pit?" And people are staying with us, and we're like, "No." This time of year and forward, there is zero fires. I mean, we don't even allow propane because it's just not worth the risk of this whole scenario coming to play here.
yeah, and a lot of people don't quite understand the whole concept of being safe, and understanding that we're in a forest. And you guys got to also understand, if you're watching from afar, California, Phoenix, or whatever, that our forest is very, very, very fragile, and if we don't watch it, because fire could devastate everything and also our environment. And this is the reason why we basically cut the stuff off, and not to mention a lot of people from the city life doesn't acknowledge the fire life, and when you put fire into the city, there's nothing to burn. It's just concrete. You know what I'm saying? The best that it will burn is that house in general, or even that apartment, because the way that the things are built. But you guys gotta understand, if one spark gets into the forest, there is no helping it if it decides to go. And that's the reason why we also do prescribed berms, so we could actually have these fire lanes. But it's scary. And one of the things that you have to do is restrict anybody from using any of those tools that could be total devastation. So it's not a good thing to start a fire here locally in Prescott or the forests in any part of Arizona, the fields in general. So yeah, I seen that this morning. That was one of the things we were going to cap on with that fire season upon us. So man, we got to keep our firefighters safe, and the first responders safe. And if without them, we're not going to get help in any. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like we could take care of business, but these people are educated and put there for a reason. So, this is something that we all got to take care of and watch for ourselves.
Yeah, and so on that, we're seeing lots of posts in the groups of everybody's being outside, which is great, but the trash and dumping is through the roof in Prescott Valley and on the trails. So, I think everybody's been encouraging everybody to go outside, but dumping all the stuff in the forest and on public lands is not cool.
It is not. And I mean, this is the reason why there's those warnings on packages. There's a reason why we are restricted from doing said things. And I'm pretty sure it's because people do not know how to follow the rules and don't really regard anybody else besides themselves. So you guys out there that are selfish, stop that, please. Just don't go out there. Think about everybody. Think about everybody that you're putting in danger. Whenever you freaking decide to go ahead and smoke a cigarette and drive down the road with it outside your window, think about what exactly is happening at that point in time. High winds, even at 10, 15 miles an hour, cherry falls off your cigarette, rolls out into the side of the median, and then poof, we have tons and tons of those fires coming up from Phoenix. And the reason why we have those fires is because people's people, your chains on your trailers are hanging on the ground. And guess what? 50, 60, 75 miles an hour hitting on the concrete, one little spark with that metal, it's gone. It's over. You're not going to see that. It's just going to
These
burn real
winds this
quick.
weekend, but these winds are these are the scary winds, right? I mean, when they're talking these high winds for the next 2 days, that's when fires kick up and take off. And so just everybody needs to take a little extra precaution the next couple of days because humidity's not super low, but pretty low. And these winds, man, it'll kick up and it'll just devastate an area. So hopefully everybody at least kind of makes the connection.
Yeah. I mean, this is the time of life where you want to enjoy the great outdoors, but this is also the time of life where we actually get really, really, really scared of tourism. And it's because, once again, nobody is coherent about, if you start a big fire and you don't have nothing to put that fire down, then guess what, man? We are in very big world of hurt. So, yeah, you
Yeah,
can come and
there's a
you
lot
guys
to burn here.
as what?
There's a lot to burn here.
Yeah, there is. And it's unfortunate, but it's there. And
That's
I
why we're
think,
here, right? That's
yeah,
it. I mean, just seeing the greenery, and so we just have to be. I had relatives come in from Colorado last year, and they're just like they're looking at all how close all the trees are to our houses and everything else, and like, oh, they would never allow this there. And so, we certainly need to be thankful that we can, but at the same time, keep in mind that it's a tinderbox.
yeah. And last week, guys, we ended up having a big, huge congratulations to the class of 2020. I know that they didn't get really what they deserved this year, but man, I believe that these people right here are going to be, our leaders of the future. So I just want to give a huge shout out to the class of 2020. And welcome and
Graduation would be this week. Yeah.
yeah, welcome to the real world, everybody.
I,
I hope you're ready for it.
Good. Hey, well, it's
some of
good
the
news.
things
It
that
doesn't sound like you have a ton. It doesn't sound like you have a ton of news for local stuff for all those people that we had here this weekend. And there's not a ton of no accidents, no crazy rollovers, no crazy fires, no. It all sounds like good news for having all those people here, right?
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I seen a video on my Instagram feed where the Jersey Lilies put their band on the patio, and everybody in the everybody was not sitting in the bar. They were sitting outside over on the courthouse listening to this music. It was a live jam feed that people were really enjoying. It was awesome to see that. It was really cool that people are innovating. I mean, there's things that we can do, but nobody knows exactly what to do because, I mean, even as me being an entertainer, bringing people together, that's like asking for me to put a lot of people in danger, and that's not fair. And so to see this kind of happen, it makes me feel like people are wanting to move forward, but just not as much. I guess there's a couple polls out there, like Eric has actually presented, like we're 50-50 split where people don't want to go out and people that do want to go out. But I also believe that the people that don't want to go out, added to the ones that are actually really scared to go out because of their immune deficiency, are the ones that want to sit at home getting that paycheck. So this is hard, man. This is hard to get people up and running. But I believe that, with a little bit of safeness, we'll be able to make it happen. So
Yeah, no, I saw you posted on Prescott Day Night Out that Roger Klein and the Peacemakers are looking at doing a balcony concert or something like that this in July. It looks like it's on the schedule.
yes, and it is definitely on the schedule. So that's going to be pretty cool. And to see him playing at that location is like, that's a little bit different because they usually don't play at that location. So we'll see what happens.
Well, cool.
See what happens.
Sounds like a good day. Good start to a new week.
It is. Yeah, there's so much going on, Eric. We're going to be interviewing and talking with a lot of local businesses and trying to go ahead and get to their spots and when they're not busy, which is probably going to be good. We're going to start covering also entertainment that's going to be happening. Starting to progress. I think I said something last week when I was chatting with the Elks Theater's general manager, saying that they're not thinking anything's going to be here until August. So that was kind of sad to hear. But at the same time, once again, you don't want to have that on your hands or your shoulders. Acknowledging, if one person gets sick, then you have to deal with all of that. So I guess I can see where they're coming from, and not to mention, I mean, I don't think that we actually got a word that you remember when the first meeting with the governor Ducey, where he was stating, or somebody asked, can you be sued if somebody ends up contracting COVID-19? And I haven't heard anything unless you have, Eric.
No, I know that they were talking about working with the legislator on how to deal with that, but I don't think that they've done a thing.
Yeah. And the other thing was I was actually under the influence by, if, say, for instance, we opened up the shop, opened up whatever doors, and one person decides to go ahead and get COVID-19 and contracts this COVID-19, and then they do this, what they've been calling track tracing. Will they go back to said business and also close them down for 14 days and everybody that's in there for 14 days, just, and then also try to figure out who was there at that point in time. Like, uh, I'm kind of like weirded out by that. So, I've been kind of cautious and trying to figure out exactly how that goes down. Or there might be a way we could avoid that by saying, I mean, don't enter the building if you feel bad, or if this is, I mean, I don't know. There has to be something that helps us as a business owner to acknowledge that if somebody comes in here, that we're not going to be shut down for the next 14 days. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah. No, they could. That's what Leslie was saying, is that you got to do the temperature checks, and if somebody is at that temperature point, sounds like it might be 100 degrees, you got to turn them around and say, go get tested. I mean, that's the safe way to protect your business.
But you know what? I mean, who are we to tell them that they got to go get tested? That's the other thing. Because I mean, we've actually encountered, people that actually have a very high temperature, and it's because we're in Arizona heat. I mean, they're standing outside in the sun, or they're driving down the road and they're just in their car where it's nice and warm. I mean, we all know that our cars get from, I mean, even at 97 degrees, if your car's sitting in your car are outside in the sun, it's going to reach to 102. And you're sitting in the car, you're standing outside in that sun. I really believe that you're going to actually have a high temperature. So I don't know, Eric, man. This is one of those days where you're
Nothing's
just like,
perfect, my friend. Yeah,
nothing's
nothing's perfect.
perfect, and that's kind of
Nothing's perfect. Until we can get to the
yeah.
point to where they can, especially for like important jobs, test you daily, which is where they want to go. I think Amazon's doing it to where when workers show up every day, I think they test them and with a rapid test before they go to work, and that's the only true way to know if they've got it, even if they don't have symptoms.
Yeah. And once again, I mean, even if you do have COVID-19, I mean, you're going to be healed. Right? What is the recovery rate? Are we at 99.9%
It's
yet?
pretty high. The freaky thing is I don't know if you saw the news on Friday, but that uh, was it the USS Cole or whatever it was, is they have sailors that recovered, tested negative, and then a couple of weeks later tested positive again. And that's kind of freaky.
Yeah, this is so weird. Like, what is really going on? I actually read something also just recently saying that if you have taken the flu shot, that you probably have COVID-19 in your antibodies already. So I want to see some of the things that come out of that one. I mean, kind of intrigued by this whole thing. I feel like I need to be an investigator, but at the same time, I feel like I need to learn how to um, figure out how everybody's thinking about this, because I've been hearing a lot of crazy things in the White House where everybody's just like, this is happening, this ain't happening.
Yeah,
Dr.
we'll
Fauci,
get there. I mean, we'll get there. I mean that there's a lot to it. So anyway, on that note, I think it's a good time to wrap up on Monday. What do you think?
I am down, man. I'm kind of ready for this week to start off, Eric. We got a lot of cool things happening. And once again, thank you guys all for watching. We are definitely reaching, ultimate, definitely like bigger numbers than we have before. So I'm really, really happy with you guys. Thank you once again. We will be giving morning shout outs to our local sponsors and people that are working with us. So thank you guys. I know I put one out there for you, and I will do it again. Thank you guys for your help and your participation in keeping the Prescott Times open.
Yep. Hey, tell people how to like and follow this.
Yeah, everybody, it's right below in the as soon as you go to our page, you could go ahead and say follow first in order for you to see most information. But most of all, go to the website, because the website is actually getting a lot of posts. The only thing that really makes it to Facebook is the main headline. So but everything gets drawn back to the prescotttimes.com, and that's where you will go ahead and get most of the information, anything that you're looking for. We have gardening tips, we have people talking about their businesses in general. We also have more information on police reports. So yeah, guys, follow that page or go to the website, and you'll listen and hear way more.
Excellent. And there's also YouTube and Instagram, right?
Yeah, don't forget that. I mean, Eric just set up the YouTube, so thank you, YouTube. I know that we're starting to get subscribers, which is totally awesome. We will be posting, many things there as well. And if you guys don't have these other pages, we're going to find a way to get this information to you. So if you don't have Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any of those things, you can go straight to the website. You can find that right on your phone. It's very much mobile, user friendly. So yeah, guys, support your local news source, and thank you once again for being a part of us.
All righty, sir. Well, you have a great Monday.
Yes, and thank you guys. Peace, love, and happiness. Let Monday get past, and then tomorrow we'll see you at 8:45 right here on everywhere. Thank you, Instagram. And we are out.